Hi, everyone. Uh, Good morning to United States and good afternoon to Kabul and Afghan, special immigration applicants. So just I have to connect this to the, oh, okay, to go back. Oh, this, yep. Good morning to United States people and good afternoon to Kabul people. Sorry for a little bit delay. It takes times while to connect it Facebook to Zoom to Facebook. Well, today recording of the SIV applicants request and people who are stuck in Kabul and the people who work on behalf of the United States government in Afghanistan. So we did that show, which we request anyone who is calling from Kabul and sharing their concerns and on time for it, sharing their concerns or security concerns and their problems with the American citizens and with American government officials. Please never ever mention your name. Please never ever mention your own logistic or construction company name if you work as a contractor or subcontractor or linguist. Please never ever mention any secure office name which you work. You guys are allowed to mention the United States Army. For more detail, once we did a show, at the end of the show, we will make a script of the show and send it to the American Congress and Senate people. So we're start receiving a call. Let's see. I think we are receiving it now. Yep. Hi, you're live at the Kabul to Sacramento show.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Should we start?
Yep. Just now we'll start the show, and you can share your concern and security concern and what's the problem, why the process are so getting delayed, and why the people cannot apply for SIV.
Okay, thank you so much. It's a great honor having this opportunity, and thank you for giving me the time to raise my voice. I know there are lots of applicants that wants to call, and due to a limited time, I should shortly start and end this conversation.
Yep.
If you don't mind, I would like to start my experience and working with the U.S. Army and organizations funded by the U.S. government.
That's great. How many years you work with that organization, with the U.S. Army?
Actually, I was working individually a few years ago, and now as a director of a media agency in Afghanistan, on behalf of my agency, working with the organizations funding by the U.S. government. On that time that I was working individually, that was, I think, 2011, and till 2013, I was working with that company. Unfortunately, I cannot name that company's name. So in 2011, I was working with that company. Actually, my sister was also appointed with that company, and
so what's the reason why you guys cannot apply for SIV, or did you guys apply for SIV?
The reason is the commander that we were working under, their command, they are not responding our emails and also any WhatsApp calls. You know better that whenever we are going to apply for any SIV or any other kind of visa, HR letter and any other confirmation letter is required. You know that.
Yep.
So for that case, when we are going to approach our commander and our seniors, they are not replying us. And I don't know what is the reason of that. Okay.
So how was your security situation in Kabul?
Security situation is day by day. This is everyone knows that security is not good. Security is not good for me. Security is not good for any person, especially for those persons, for those people that was used to be working as a reporter, as an interpreter, as a contractor with the U.S. agencies, with the NATO, with the U.S. Army. And they are not safe. They are insecure. They are staying just in their homes, and they cannot go outside. And as you better know that in these days after peace talks, U.S. armies are leaving Afghanistan.
Yeah, but so what's your request from the officials? What do you want the US? What the US official can do for you guys to make that process easier to find out HR and recommendation later?
If we are going to have another next telephonic call, I will give you more information about that company, about that organization that I was working with them. The only thing that we want from the U.S. officials and the U.S. high rankings is to value the time that we have spent with them. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
The value of our life that we have put in danger on that time.
Okay, just I want to make sure you had a direct contract with the U.S. government, then you had your own business direct contract with the U.S. government, right?
Actually, when I was working individually with that organization, that project was funded directly by the U.S. government, and that was a security job that I was appointed for.
Great.
For example, I was appointed for collecting reports from the mosques that mullah and every Friday.
Okay, like a intel, we call it civilian intel gathering for that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. We will keep in touch with you after the end of the show to receive more information about anywhere you work, so we can forward that document to the American officials.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your call.
Thank you for your time.
Bye. So people are giving a call and try to respond it, but there is some reasons which we cannot mention any company name. So the companies are worked directly as a contractor or subcontractor. Now they couldn't find out their. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yep. This Cobalt to Sacramento show special immigration applicants vice. So if you can share your experience with us.
Okay, thank you for giving me the time. I'm Spujmay Sarlay.
Please do not mention your name.
Hello?
Please do not mention your name, last name, and do not mention your company security reason. So let me ask you, have you had a direct contract with the US government? Have you worked with the US government?
I have contracts and implemented, you said, projects in Kabul, also in provinces. So because of working and also implementing the USAID project, I forced, even I closed my office over there in Kabul and come in India. So now, as you know, America decided to leave Afghanistan. So this is my concern and this is my problem. So what American can do for us? At least we should say to work.
So as a woman which you was running a company in Afghanistan, how many years you work with the US government in Afghanistan as a contractor or subcontractor or an employee?
I worked with US since 2016 and different type of agreements.
Have you applied for a visa yet?
I cannot apply for SIV visa because I work as an agreement with them. My company works with agreement with them in business section. So this is my problem that nowadays, like I forced because of I implementing, I work with them, I implement their projects like such as events and social media and also in billboards and TVs. For that kind of work, I forced. So now I'm here in India.
So what do you want? What's your request from US officials? What do you want? What the US official can do for you guys, especially for you as a woman, to save your life, at least for your kids?
This is very important that they should focus on women that they have business, they are working in business section. It's very difficult that I work with them, but I can. So my request is that if they have SIV visa for their workers, so please focus on business women, on women that they are working in peace section and women's rights. We have concern. We forced from Taliban. I leave my home. I leave everything. My business, my office, my workers. They work with me. They can arrange their foods from my offices. But I leave everything. I'm here, but here my future, my kids' future is not clear to me. In Afghanistan situation, the situation is very bad. I cannot go over there. There is a direct threat for me. So I request that please focus on my situation and do for me something, at least that I should be in safe and I should work for my kids, for my family, for my country.
Okay, thank you so much for your call. I already know that. So once the show ended, end of the show, I will contact you and get you more information and see what the resource we have, which you can use. So we will share all resources with you. Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you for your support. Thank you.
You're welcome. Once again, if you guys calling, please do not mention your name and your company name because of security reason. Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Hi, good evening. Thank you
Good
for
evening to you
organizing
too.
this.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. So you're calling from Afghanistan?
Well, actually, I'm calling on behalf of my brother. He's in Afghanistan. He lives in Kunduz, and he applied for this visa CIV on 2019, December 2019, and it's been 2 years. We haven't got any response. I mean, and all we are getting is like auto response. We provided all documentation that needed except the letter recommendation from his manager, because the project he was working, it was between 2008 and 2011, and now that project is closed and none of those people are there. So we don't know how to provide the recommendation letter. Is there any alternative we can do, or any other letter we can provide?
That's why we start that show to raise the public awareness about this idea and special migration applicant advice, to let the American people know it's not easy, especially if I work in condos. I did a evacuation of 2015 in condos. Yeah, I was the guy on 4th of October when I evacuated 250 people from condos. It's not easy, I know that. But hope the U.S. official can do something to save our allies' life in Afghanistan. Thank you so much for your call. Well, whenever I'm talking about my 2015 operation, I'm getting emotional. I know it was so hard time over there. I know condos is not safe. So God bless you, and God bless your brother. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, thank you. We just want to hear and the responsible people and organizations that is there any alternatives, like how we can provide the letter from our managers while they're not there in Kabul anymore? They're not there. All the projects are finished, like the ones that we were working in there. So this is the main problem, to provide the reference or recommendation letter, to get it from them. Even though if we contacted them in America or any other country that they are living there, they said they responded to us that we're not now in there and we cannot do anything. We can't provide you any recommendation letter right now because it's been on those, I mean, in those years, not right now.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I will keep in touch with you after the end of the show. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I'm keep getting a call from Kabul. So let's see. The pen people. Hello? Yep. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Mr. Yusufi. It's Ibrahim from Kabul, Afghanistan.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear. So could you please share your reason of the call?
It's called to clear the concern behind my case and the case of numerous Afghans that currently live in Afghanistan. The main problem for me is termination.
How many years you work with the U.S. Army?
I worked around 20 months.
21.
Almost 2 years.
What was the reason of your termination?
I got approval in 2015, but I revoked in 2015 after a visa interview.
What is the reason? What was the reason?
The reason was the termination by my employer, my essential personal company, MEP.
Okay. So did you contact the company? Did you contact your colonel? Did you contact your in-charge commander about it?
I have contacted everyone. My company that I was working with, they just said you have to talk with your supervisor. You have to talk with a high rank general who should currently work in Afghanistan and should write a recommendation letter for you and should introduce you for a CI, like a CI group to appoint you for a new, just a kind of, just kind of a screening, a test. So that's impossible, you know?
Yep. So what do you want from U.S. officials? If yep.
I highly request to please consider review our cases, especially my case. So it's a big concern for all applicants who currently live in Afghanistan and left behind. The main problem is termination by employers and also lack of some documents besides the length of employment. I mean, some guys have worked for almost 23 months and they're left behind just because of 1 month. So this is the main problem, the main concern that we currently have.
So what do you think about security situation in Kabul for language and the people who work on behalf of the United States government in Afghanistan?
So it's so hard to tell you. It means the most worst situation that I have seen is now. So whenever the government of America, so they are going to withdraw their all forces from Afghanistan, and the evacuation is still remain. So we will remain in Afghanistan. This is the big problem that I have. Same like me. There are numerous Afghans. There are thousands, maybe hundreds, or that are currently remained in Afghanistan, and their problem is same like me. So this is my advice. I have to raise it. I just share it with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope we can do something as the media, and I hope the U.S. officials can do something. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hi, Blakely. Yeah, thanks for joining. People are calling. Yep. Kabul to Sacramento, a special immigration applicant vice show. I can hear you. Yep, I can hear you.
Thank you. I'm calling from arranging such a show, and I would like to raise my voice as to the SIV application that I submitted. So if I don't know how many minutes.
So how many years you work with the U.S. Army and with which group you work?
Exactly. I started working with the U.S. Special Forces for the teams back in 2002. When they first came into Afghanistan, they were supposed to train the Afghan National Army. I joined as the translator back then. And I moved up from that training to the Ministry of Defense, the MOD. I was a translator for the mentor of the Chief of General Staff of the Afghan National Army, Ministry of Defense. The office that I was working in was named Office of Military Cooperation for Afghanistan, which was the office was based in Camp Eggers near the Ministry of Defense. The location was right there, and I was working as the translator for, as I said, the Chief of General Staff of the Afghanistan National Army by this U.S. Military Troops Office, the OMC Alpha.
So did you apply for SIV visa?
Oh yeah, exactly. I did. Later on, my duration working for U.S. Special Forces or U.S. Armed Forces into Afghanistan is 6 years, starting 15 May 2002 until 8 March 2008. 15 May 2002 until 10 March 2008. I'm sorry, I want to make sure the duration is that way. And yeah, later on, I became I served as the military, as a contractor for the U.S. military forces in Afghanistan. I have signed lots of contracts and I successfully completed all those.
So when you apply for SIV?
Yeah, the SID that I applied was back in 2014. I contacted one of my contacts who I worked for inside Afghanistan. Her name was Deborah Creder. She was a major in the U.S. Air Force. She gave me the recommendation letter, and I provided all other documents such as the HR letter and the threat letter that I had, plus the form that I completed, plus all the documentation that I had with me. So I submitted all these, and it got the rejection.
What was the reason?
The reason was that I had to correct the recommendation letter by my recommender, which happened, and that was corrected. They wanted some words to be added. So that was also corrected and sent back. Again, once they rejected the case, they were asking for the copy of the contract that I was working under, which was never given to us once we were working for the U.S. military forces. The copy of the contract was never given to us, and that I don't have it. However, I could find one of the copy of the modification of the contract that I was working under, so I have provided that one as well, which is for interpreters. And since I had worked under 3 different contracts in 3 locations, so I didn't have the copy of any of my contract to give them. However, I have 21 certificates given to me by the U.S. military.
So what? What do you want from the people, United States people, like American citizens, American officials? What they can do for you to find out that documents, because that's official and classified documents. No one have access without the response team. So what do you want from them? What they can do for you to find out that copies?
Exactly. I could know that I dig into some of my friends that we were working together if they had a copy of the contract, but none of them did. And I have no idea how can I find this copy of the contract and from who. I don't know this. However, as I said, I have a copy of my badge, which is unscored. I've given this to them. I have given the proof of my employment. I've given the memorandum for record, which was all given to me by base ops in Camp Eggers. I have all these documentations, and I could say that even I was certified to use the U.S. military email addresses. That was something I was holding when I was working in Camp Phoenix contracting office.
For the record, for the record, when I did an interview of 2,600 people who work on behalf of the United States government and Afghanistan via WhatsApp and phone call, we find out 700 of them was a subcontractor of logistic and construction company with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineering or U.S. Army Contracting Office, which they don't have a copy of contracts. Thank you so much for raising your voice, and we hope we can do something to find a way and see what we can do to share your concern with the U.S. people.
Please, thank you. I would like to say that I need help. Definitely, I need help because I have 5 kids. They cannot go to school, and I'm threatened. I'm very scared, especially these days. I cannot move anywhere. I'm hiding. You know that everyone knows that who I was. I was a translator working for the U.S. military forces. Plus, I was later on a contractor for the U.S. armed forces. So please, raise my voice, and I can provide all my details at any time that was needed. But please raise my voice. I'm so scared. I want to get this chance. I deserve it, and I want it. Someone please help.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing the information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Stay safe. Thanks.
We are receiving a phone call all the time from people, but due to the limit time of the show, the main focus, the main problems, and raise the voice of people and find out what is the main problem on SIV program. I did an interview of a lot of people, but if I say something without proof, no one will believe it. So that's why I create that show, a special immigration applicant voice, to raise the voice of people from Afghanistan. You guys heard everyone, any SIV applicants, anyone who work on behalf of the United States government in Afghanistan have 5 problems: HR, recommendation letter, or they cannot find their supervisor, or their supervisor gave them a recommendation letter. Their embassy needed a new recommendation letter. They cannot find their supervisor, or they got terminated or blacklisted by fake report, or they work as a contractor or subcontractor with U.S. contracting office. Now they couldn't find their contracting officers to give them a recommendation letter and HR letter. For the record, just 2 weeks ago, we lost one of SIV. And when we are talking about the problem is not the embassy, U.S. embassy in Kabul. The problem is not the State Department. The problem is the people who was in rotation. Each 6 months, they had rotation. So it's not easy for anyone to find out 1,500 miles far away from Kabul to United States to find their supervisor, please give me a recommendation later. Or sometimes they're not responding their email or cell phones. The women's lives are in danger. According to my intel report from Afghanistan, no one is safe in Afghanistan. No one. Anyone who work on behalf of the United States government and high ranking as a construction, logistic, linguist, or they had nonprofit organization, they're not safe. I was the witness of 2015 in Kunduz, which I was responsible of evacuation of 250 people from Badakhshan. I know it's not easy. I hope the US government listen to it. Kit, if you have any suggestion, any comment?
No, I don't. It's been interesting listening because I've heard the same story for 8 years. Just like you, I get a lot of contacts and a lot of people calling in and writing in and asking me questions. I think you have the advantage that you've been there, you've experienced it, you know some of the things to do. But I wish that I had an answer, or I wish I had a key to the lock that I could help all of those poor guys, that both men and women that have helped America, help Afghanistan, but now we're not getting the help they deserve.
So how we can reach out the Senate and Congress, especially the White House, to have some legislation for them, to provide them that document? And is any clue, any idea, as an American citizen, what is your idea? How it will be happen? Is it a miracle or not?
Well, I think it shows like yours where, we're going to constantly gain more visibility, more awareness. I read a lot of newspapers and documents where Congress is aware of the problem. There are some very supportive senators and House members which are advocating for Afghanistan. Fortunately, we've got some American Afghan veterans in Congress which are advocating for us. But we just have to go faster. I'm worried that every day we delay is going to be another day of increasing problems.
Yep. Thank you so much. We will send a copy of this show to all Senate and Congress public and communication director officers.
Well, that's a good
idea. Let them to see this video and listen to the voice of that poor people. And we cannot let them to die over there, because they save us, especially they save me. And they save our secret services in Afghanistan. So we should be appreciated.
I agree. So, and they made the promise, they should keep their promise.
Yep. Thank you so much for everyone. We will keep going on with the show each week one time. And I'm so sorry for some applicants which they try to reach me. I couldn't answer. I have a limit time also. I have one of my family, my auntie passed away 2 hours ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it's not easy for me to run the show too. Just now I heard that news from Kabul. But we will keep fighting for you guys. We will keep fighting to bring you guys here by any cost. We will do public awareness. That public awareness, we can do something. But for Afghan people, what we want you guys to do, please do not join any groups by the name of SIV association or organization in Kabul. Please never ever share your personal documents, badge, information with any internet club in Afghanistan. Please never ever accept any offer of offering you recommendation letter or HR letter from scammers. Have a good day. God bless everyone, and I hope everyone will be safe.